Hello, you've seen the thumbnail of this video and are probably thinking that I've got a picture of a Citroen C6. Rather somber thumbnail, me sat in front of a car that isn't a Citroen C6. Am I going to tell you that I don't have a Citroen C6 anymore? No, I'm not going to tell you that at all. It's completely misleading. I've actually not got a Vauxhall Zafira anymore. I've sold the Vauxhall Zafira. And I have sold the C6 as well. Yes, no, it's true. So, as it is the 29th of September that I record this, and it's the 29th of September that it happened. As of today, right now, the most complicated Citroen that I own is that one. 1990. I think it's actually built in 1995, that one. Has it got two number plates on it? I think it's got one behind the other. Okay, well, ignore that. Yeah, as things stand, that is the most complicated Citroen I own. I have sold the C6. The C6 is gone, which meant it felt like I had to do a little video, and this will be a quick one. And I know I say that, but this time it actually will be a quick one because there is no C6 to look at anymore. I felt like I had to do something because this car is a car that, although it didn't feature on the channel from day one, that was actually my SM, which I also own, or my remains of an SM. That car was on from day one. The C6 was around from day one. It was here before the channel started. The C6 predated the SM. I had the C6 before I got the SM, before I got the Activa there, or the one above it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I have. I've had it 5 years, C6. I had it 5 years. I would say by far, not by far, but probably one of the most popular cars on the channel. I think statistically speaking, probably the most popular car on the channel in terms of views and revenue generated, and just generally people talking and showing interest and being petrol heady. Yeah, the C6 had a place in the hearts of many people on this channel. And when I say many people, I mean, relatively speaking, many people. So like 4. I wasn't intending to sell the car. So basically, before all the people who only subscribe to this channel for C6 content leave, let me just explain. Not that I don't have to explain myself to anyone, but no, I do. Channel members, actually. I'm going to explain myself to channel members and patrons. So basically, the deal with the C6 was that I did a video a couple of weeks ago, sat next to the car, talked at length. It ended up being a 55-minute video. The footage was actually 1 hour 25 minutes, so you can imagine how much of that got chopped out. I sat next to that car and basically went through a kind of, you know, remembering what happened when we got it, some good memories, why I don't use it much now, ranting about the government or something like that. I don't think I put a tinfoil hat on, but I got close. I didn't actually have any intentions after that video to do anything with it. It was basically the C6. It had been parked up inside here. It's been parked on the dyno for a while. Guess it's the only space that was big enough. And I took it out again a couple of days ago because I have to play musical cars when I'm working on cars. If there's cars that I'm actively working on, they come in. If I'm not actively working on them, I don't have room, and I don't have room to keep cars for free, so they go outside. I brought the C6 inside and then took it outside to work on another car, and it got put out in the yard, and I thought no more of it. And I had intentions of taxing it in October and trying to sort out the alternator light, that was the alternator problem that had come up, which I think was the freewheel clutch on the pulley. And I was going to take it up to Alton Park for the Autos de France thing, which I went to last year, and I thought, yeah, I'll go to that again, but this time I'll go in a C6, not a Saxo and a BX, that one of them might break down on the M6 toll road. And it wasn't the BX, by the way. We were going to go to that, possibly. Probably not now, because I haven't got a French car on the road. But yeah, the C6 was in line to do it. Going back a couple of months ago, I had an email or a message online from a chap called Harvey, not that one. And he basically said something along the lines of, look, you know, tell me to go away if you want. Very polite, tell me to go away if you want, but would you consider selling the C6? And I said, and the idea of that filled me with sadness, and I thought, nah. But I took him seriously because it was the tone of his email. It wasn't rude like some people are, and it wasn't over the top nice like some people are. It was just right. And then I did the video the other day, having forgotten about that, and then he emailed again And he said, "Hi, I saw your video. You know, I'd be up for buying it if you'd sell it. Just, you know, tell me what you want for it." And I thought, oh. So I needed to try and suss this guy out a little bit, because I had a rule in my head that if the right person for the C6 came along, I would sell it. The right person being someone who would do it up, basically. Someone who go to the next level that I haven't had a chance in 5 years to do. I haven't sorted the gearbox out. I run it on, you know, crummy tyres all the time. It's always got half part worn budget tyres on it and things. And not that I'm not a tyre tart or anything like that. I'm not, honestly, I'm not. There are plenty of good budget tyres. There are plenty of crap premium brand tyres. But in this instance, I think the C6 needed a proper tyre. It was just things like that. It was always dirty. It was always filthy. It was always grubby. I'm a mechanic. It always had a dirty seatbelt. It always had dirty steering wheel because it was a cream interior. And I thought, if the right person came along, I'd do the right thing by the car and let it go. And so when he emailed again, I kind of sized him up a little bit, and he was basically making all the right noises. Things like, can I have it on the original wheels? So I've got 3 litre wheels to sell if anyone wants them. Yeah, can I have it on the original wheels, because he wants to get them refurbished and put Michelins on them, which anyone who's got a C6 knows that's a very expensive thing to do. And some people who've got C6s know it's a kind of pointless thing to do because they're not any better. But he has a thing, he's like, no, I want to get a Citroen with hydrodynamic suspension and put it on Michelins. Guess we've all got, I've done it. Yeah, there was no intention to sell the C6 at all. And he emailed, and then it got very serious very quickly. And I basically said, let me have a think, because it was all moving on. And I thought, oh God, I was being filled with dread selling this car, because I sell quite a few. Well, I don't have a high turnover of cars particularly. As quite a lot of them sit around not doing anything, waiting their turn. So I don't have a high turnover of cars. But then even if I do sell a car, I don't tend to feel too sad, because it's kind of like I've made the decision to sell that car. But I rarely sell a car because I feel like I'm, in a way, forced to. And that's kind of how it feels a little with the C6. No, I'm not forced to. That's bollocks. I'm not forced to. But I can't have it all. I can't have my cake and eat it. I have to be sensible. And the sensible part of my head was saying, you don't have time to work on this car. Although this car, you keep thinking the car is more modern than it is. We forget these cars. The C6 as a model is 20 years old this year. 20 years old. I got my Citroen BX when it was 14. It was a 14-year-old car when I got it. And that felt old. And it just goes to show how modern cars don't feel like they age as much, I don't think. But yeah, you forget how old the C6 was. 165,000 miles on it. You know, that car was 18 years old. And you can't run them like a new car anymore. It's like, no, it's gone beyond what it was ever designed to do. It's like, if you want to keep it going, you've got to be on it. You've got to be treating it almost like a classic car. And it wasn't getting treated like a classic car. But if someone popped up who was going to kind of treat it, well, not classic, but a sort of classic come retro modern daily that they would cherish and love, if that person came along, then I would be doing the car a disservice to say no. But it's nearly what I did, because I said, leave it with me, I'm going to think about it, when the conversation had sort of reached its natural conclusion. And I went away, and I was doing the octopus on a BX, which is fun. I did that, and I went back in the computer room into the office, and I said, I can't do it. I'm really sorry. It's about to type. In fact, I'd almost started typing out, I'm really sorry, mate. I can't. I'm being I want it too much, you know. But I went in there. I came back out because I'd left my phone out here, the one that we're recording on. So I came back out to get the phone, and as I walked past the door, I saw the roof of it over there. You can't see over there. I don't know why I'm pointing. I saw the roof of it outside, covered in dust, sun hammering down on it. Just sat there, and I thought, you owe it to the car to give it a chance, because what chance has it got? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. I'll keep driving it. I'll put it on the road occasionally. I'll use it. But am I just driving it into the floor? I'm doing some repairs. Sure, I've done some bits on it. I've done a lot on it. I mean, the car owes me. Well, say owes me, including buying it, owes me about £3 for 5 years of driving, which most people wouldn't get near to with a C6. They'd be spending way more than that. So, from that point of view, it's been good. But obviously, I've not come out of it in the green. But who does? You know. So I seen this car outside and thought, I owe it. I'm not going to take that car to the next level. The next level is someone who knows someone who can do paint. Someone who's got the time, who's only got one car to tinker with, and they've got the time to take the engine out, because of really what it needed. Take the engine out with the gearbox and fit that replacement gearbox and torque converter that I got, the lower mileage one. Fit those, do all the other bits while it's there, pull the EGR valves out, put new ones in, decoat the head, make it nice, you know, make it look, because once you've done that, get the spheres regassed and make it look pretty, although it's kind of a high mileage C6, I think you've actually got a really sorted one, because, you know, computer wise, as far as the suspension goes, as far as everything like that goes, I know it's a good one. I know all that stuff is ticked off, and you'll never find a C6 that's perfect. And this is the thing, chap who come to buy it could have bought another one for £4,000, and driven off and have the same problems with the gearbox, because it happens quite a lot. It's very common. So I think his logic was, well, I'll go into the bottom of the market, and then I've got a bit of room to spend on one before I've, you know, kind of made it unviable. If you come in at the price he got that for, he's got the window to spend another £3,000 on it, really, until he starts thinking, oh, I probably could have bought a better one. And £3,000 will buy him a new, like a replacement lower mileage steering wheel, and it'll buy maybe a tidier driver's seat, and he'll get the headlining done and throw a little bit of touch up on the paint, and you know, the rest of it he can do himself on the driveway as labour. So it works. And so I saw it sat out there, and I realised I have to sell it. I mean, there are cars I can leave out there quite happily. Quite happily, there are cars I can leave out there. To be fair, this was outside for God knows how long, and that's worth more, and it's rarer. And so I just saw it sat there, and I thought of all the happy memories and all the good times and all the, you know, the kind of everything it's done, and thought it deserves a go. You know, if you just hang on to it forever, what's going to happen? It's going to rust away. You know, the paint will just get eaten by the sun. It's already getting eaten by the sun. It's already scratched up and hazy in places. It needs someone who's going to go to town on it. And I think he's that guy. So it feels surreal, to be honest. I don't often get upset. As I say, when I sell a car, I don't often care that much. But I'm gutted. I'm truly gutted. And like my wife said to me, she goes, well, you can always get another C6. It's like, I don't think I would. Why would I buy a C6 now? I've had one. I've had it 5 years. Look at everything else that's going on. I don't need one. I need one like a hole in the head, really. That car felt honest. It was a bit tired. It was a bit janky. It was a bit rough around the edges. It hadn't had that pampered life. It wasn't one of the Ponzi owners who, you know what I mean? Like there are cars where like you see them and they're just polished to within an inch of their life. They're covered in every chemical going at a car show, and then you drive them and they're bang average. And it wasn't one of them. It was a working class C6. It was a hero C6. It was one that had been used by people who, you know, had been through I think it had been through a slightly higher class period in its earlier life, as a lot of them were. But as time went on, you know, with me, it was parked on the street a lot of the time. It was getting used like a proper old clunker, like a proper old CX or a DS around London or something like that, you know. And so it had this real character about it, and then all the adventures we had as well. I think that's why it just clicked so much, and for that reason, the C6 will be probably in my top 5 favourite cars I've ever had until my last day. I'd have thought. I can't imagine anything's going to come in and kick that, because of course now the car is only going to be it's going to have the Kurt Cobain effect. It's just going to be, well, it's gone now, so it's going to be even more legendary as time goes by. All the stories I tell of it, it's going to get even more wicked and out there. And, you know, the mileage I did around France in 1 week with a borderline cooling system with a bit of plastic that was about to snap but held on for me. Well, that went from 1400 miles to 1600 miles. Next time I tell the story, it'll be 2000 miles. And the legend will grow because the car's not there anymore. So it's immortal now, regardless of what happens with it. And I have to accept that it's not my car anymore. And, you know, it may be that he gets to next week and changes his mind and go, I don't want a C6 anymore. I want a Vauxhall Omega MV6. I don't know. I don't think he will. I think, hello Harvey, if you're watching. I think, really nice guy, good feeling off him. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he's talking about. He came from Saxos and 106s like me. He turned up in some Range Rover, which admittedly not my cup of tea, but it was in very nice condition. Worth more than the C6, and undoubtedly just as complex as the C6, and probably less reliable than the C6. So he's not adverse to faffing. I think he said they had an XKR as well. He's not averse to, you know, mucking about and getting his hands dirty and you know, putting in the effort for complex cars, that if you enjoy doing that sort of thing, that, you know, the rewards you get from it. And he seemed very excited to get a C6. So he's wanted one. Like me, he wanted one since the Top Gear video, which you will watch, Harvey. You will watch that over and over again. Yeah, I feel a little bit lost, to be honest, which is stupid because it's a bloody car. It's just a car. We're just custodians of them. They will outlast us. If they're given the opportunity, quite easily they'll outlast us. Yeah, I can't really add much more to that. It went with the first mug, the C6 mug I did, my merch, because that is that car. One of my kids said, you've got to take the Le Mans sticker off the boot. I said, no, that's the C6s. That earned that, driving around Le Mans. I believe his goal is to take it back to Le Mans and get a proper sticker on the other side, because that was actually the Bugatti circuit, which is, we didn't realise that until we got back. But I think he wants to get a Le Saf sticker on the other side. Yeah, really, I can't add much more to it. I know there's a bit of an odd thing to do a video on, sit in front of a car that's not even there anymore, but yes, it kind of felt like, because the thing had been there from day one for the channel, even if it hadn't appeared on it from the first day, it had always been around, it had always been in the background. It was all, I've taken it to Rustival, I've taken it to various shows, it's picked up cars that have been on the channel. It's just one of those things that's always been there, and there's probably more videos on the C6 than any other car I've done on the channel as far as the tinkering goes. And it feels like, yeah, it feels like there's a bit of a void now. Feels like there's a space, which I'm not planning to fill with another car, because I have enough cars. I'm looking at my D Super 5. That needs to go back together. Well, it needs to go together, because it came in bits. I haven't seen it together. So, and I have this SM thing in the background, which I do need to do something with. I need to progress that. And having the C6 around, which is not a daily, really. It was another one of those cars that was in the way. So we're getting rid of some cars. Vecchi, the Iveco van, has gone. That's probably beans now. Beans? No, bean tins. That's gone. I did sell the Zafira the other day. There's a video on that coming. What else did we sell? Dump It's gone. My God. It's going to start echoing in here soon. Anyway, yes, that's it. I thought I'm just going to smash this video out. I don't care how many people watch it. It doesn't bother me. It's just, yeah, it's just putting it out there, just getting it done and out and posted, and then it's sorted then, isn't it? If you see it about, it's going to, it's going near Alton Park. It's up near Chester way. It will still be travelling now. So yes, right, I'm going to go home and cry uncontrollably, have something to eat and do some editing.